All right, we are live on TikTok and on YouTube. Just need to mute this. Perfect. Okay, we're going to be doing a live Q&A. So I didn't really announce this on social media like I should have because my Monday was absolutely crazy. While we're waiting for some people to be joining us live, for those of you wonderful, wonderful people that are watching this recording, I'm going to share something with you. Usually I announce these on social media, so maybe I won't have anybody show up, but usually when I hit live on TikTok, people show up, so we'll see what happens here. I'm going to share a gold nugget out of a book that I am currently reading. I'm reading a book. It is called Killing Sacred Cows, and it's not talking about killing actual animals. Fantastic book. Basically, sacred cows are things that are considered facts within a certain industry. So sacred cows within finance or money is like, things that are considered facts or, sometimes can become myths around finances. So it kind of breaks down the myths and, calls them out as fact or lies. So this one was really interesting to me. Guy Gabriel, what's up, brother? If you have any questions, go ahead and type them. I'm going to be jumping into Q&A here shortly. So if you guys have any questions, go ahead and type them. But I'm going to share this little gold nugget really quick before we jump into the questions. So the word economics comes from the Greek word ekos, meaning home or house, and nomos, meaning name, organization or management. To the Greeks, nomos is a manager of a home. Economics isn't about charts, graphs, interest rates, and indexes. It's about what you do on a daily basis to create a profitable, thriving, and sustainable home life. The science of economics, then, is much closer to home than many of us think. Not only is it highly relevant to your personal finances, but it's also actually based on personal finance. A national economy does nothing but the reflection of an individual family of economics. So if you think about this, one of the first myths that this book actually talks about is the difference between having an abundance mindset versus having a scarcity mindset. So someone that has an abundance mindset, understands that if we serve and teach and give, right, all that's going to do is produce more success for more people, including themselves, right? But someone that has a scarcity mindset might think, well, I can't teach people my marketing system. Well, I can't teach other people how I'm making my money, because if other people are successful, they're going to take a market share, and that's going to mean less money and success for me. But what they don't understand is the more success that we have individually and the more that we can help other people have success, that's going to reflect more success for ourselves, more success for our communities, right? There's entire cities that are on the verge of bankruptcy. And it's because on a very personal level, the people that live within these cities do not have their finances in order. They do not have their home finances in order, and they're not contributing to the situation, right? They are pulling resources away from who or from the general public, right? And so the more that we can serve and teach and help other people understand money and finances, the more success that means for everyone else. And so, I really loved how it broke that down. The economics is not just, the study of charts on a national level, but it really is all the way down to the root of the situation, which is the economics of each individual people. Your TikTok name, you said, I can't wait for our call on Friday. Well, I'm excited for our call on Friday as well. It's either going to be me or my onboarding coach, Austin. I am doing calls on Friday. But if you get Austin, just say, hey, I want to say hi to Zach. I'll be in the office. I can talk to you. I can say hi. And what was your name? I've just got your TikTok name here. So I have another question here coming in from TikTok. Having problems with finding these cities to find houses I can comp. So you're struggling to find comparable properties. What are you using? Are you using Zillow to find comparables? Or are you using Redfin? Or are you using the MLS? What are you using to find comparables on these houses? You said, yes, I am. Like, what are you using? You use what platform are you using to do comps? June Toon Buffoon says, hi, Zach. Hi, how are you? So right now you're using Zillow. So what I can do, I think I can do this. So I'm live on here on YouTube. I'm going to show you guys a live example. I've got to share my screen. I'm going to share my screen so YouTube can see what I'm doing as well. All right, so I'm going to go to Zillow right here. I'm going to show you guys how to do comps live. Okay, can you guys see this on TikTok? And you on YouTube, I'm sharing my screen. So it's going to be a little better in YouTube if you guys want to go see this in YouTube. So we're going to go to Zillow.com. And I'm not working very good. So let's say the property's in Ogden, Utah. Okay. So here's Ogden, Utah. So up here, we can find for the sold properties, okay, let's say it's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath. So we're going to say 3-bedroom, 2 bathrooms, and we can go to more. So we can do even more stuff. So like, let's say it's a 1,200 square foot house. So we're going to do from square foot to 1,000 to 1,500. And that way you can get something very comparable. And let's say it was a 1950s house. Okay. So we're going to do like 1940 to a 1960. Okay. So this is going to pull properties roughly to that. We're going to do done. And that's going to pull properties that are very close. So let's say that property is in this little block of houses right here. Okay. So we go, okay, these properties are very comparable. So it's sold as low as 118 and as high as 232. So let's look at 232 and it'll show you pictures. So the inside of this house is very clean, right? Carpet's clean, paint's clean. It's it's got a really dated kitchen. It looks like a 1950s, 1970s kitchen, maybe. It's got like this overhang thing. They have updated to granite countertops, but it's got this really cheap cabinets, right? So not super updated kitchen. Bathrooms definitely not been updated for a while. So really, it's not even that good of a property. It'd be very easy to get a comparable or to get it worth more than 230. On the low end, 118. So it's got no pictures. Probably was trashed inside. Let's look at the. I'm sure this 118 was like a cash offer, completely run down, beat up property. But they should sell for over 200,000 fixed up. So that's how I'm going to figure out my ARV. I hope that helps in figuring out how to do comps. Your very best bet. We do all of our comps through the MLS. And if you don't have access to the MLS, you can ask a broker to become an assistant to the broker and pay your fees to get MLS access so you can pull your own comps, or you can ask an agent to tell you what he thinks or she thinks that property would be worth fixed up. Okay. Okay. Any questions? Any more questions? Let's see. I'm sure I've got more. Someone said I'm seeing conflicting reports with I assume with you. So conflicting reports, maybe you have seeing different comps, right? So when we wholesale real estate, we put it under contract as low as we can with the best possible chance to be able to assign it for more. Let's say comps are all over the place, right? And you're having a really hard time really calculating what that property is worth fixed up. Well, guess what? You don't really have to worry about that so much, because all you really need to focus on is, finding a cash buyer that'll pay more for it than you had it under contract for. So the goal is to send it out to your cash buyers list. You have a big cash buyers list. You should be able to get a handful of offers. And let's say you have it under contract for 150, and your best offers come in between 130 and 145, right? That means you have to then renegotiate the contract with your seller below that to make your profits, or just cancel the contract, right? That's why I love real estate wholesaling, is because there's really no risk if you know what you're doing. So that would be my suggestion, is not overthink it for the most part. And you can, have way less risk. Louise said, I'm going to find your YouTube channel. So yes, my YouTube channel is DFD Mastery. So if you go to my profile there on TikTok, you can click on the little arrow, the little YouTube arrow, right? And you can follow me, subscribe there. Really worth subscribing to my YouTube channel. I have a fun project that I'm going to be launching shortly, flying to a new market, and I'm going to take $1,000 and I'm going to turn it into $40,000 in 40 days, or at least that is the goal. I may fail miserably, but I'm going to have a film crew follow me around, and I'm going to post it on the YouTube channel for all of you guys to follow along and watch. And then someone asked, did Utah mandate that you need either double close or have a real estate license to wholesale? They've been talking about trying to pass something like that for years. They haven't. I don't double close everything. I still wholesale. I do not have a real estate license. I will never have a real estate license. I have zero interest in having a real estate license. But I highly suggest you talk to an attorney in regards to wholesaling, regardless of where you're at, so you're following proper procedures, okay? So you're seeing conflicting reports. So I can tell you my attorney is the Rudd firm, RUDD firm in Salt Lake City. So you can ask them about real estate wholesaling in Utah. Perfect. Any more questions that y'all have? Looks like we got a question here on YouTube. Do you typically drive for dollars in your backyard, or what considered the hot zip codes? Yeah, so my students, my mastery program students, right, they have access to my exact system, my exact marketing system on where to drive, how to identify those areas that have the most deals. There's a handful of ways to do that. But in Utah, I'm currently driving from Logan all the way down south to Provo. And we drive pretty much that entire section of area that has off-market discounted properties. So here in Utah, we're adding about 2,000 properties every single week to my marketing list. And then Tampa, we did 2,800 last week in Tampa, and our goal is about 2,000 properties every single week in Tampa. So we're currently adding anywhere between 4,000 to 5,000 addresses every single week to my marketing list between my two markets. We just opened up like Tampa like 2 or 3 months ago, basically doubling our marketing. So I fully expect to be producing somewhere around 2 million next year between the two markets. Greased_stairs said, I got a list of 300 properties from Twilla, Grantsville, Magna, Kearns, and West Valley. That's a good list, but try and increase your pins. 300's not very many, but those are great areas. Good stuff. Some duplex, triplex, and quadplex. Awesome. You're going to take all the properties in Salt Lake, LOL. Listen, if I didn't believe there wasn't a surplus of opportunities and deals, right, I wouldn't be teaching my system, right? Remember, I started this off, you guys probably weren't here, but I was sharing, a concept in this book. One of the first, it talks about like the myths behind money. And I'm going to show you this picture, okay? So the first chapter talks about having an abundance mindset versus a scarcity mindset. And it talks about the finite pie. So it shows this image. I'll show it here on TikTok. You guys see that? There's a pie piece missing, right? Here, I'll show it here on YouTube. I think you guys can see that. So the concept is most people think about it this way. Like, for example, here in Utah, there's only a certain amount of deals to be had. So there's for example, the real estate market or off-market discounted properties here in Utah is like a pie. And if I take a piece of pie and enjoy my piece of pie, that means less pie for you, the other Utah investors. But the reality is there's an abundance. And the more that I succeed, the more it's possible for you to succeed. I actually pulled some data in Utah. I pulled data. The way I did it is I found all real estate transactions in Utah that were filed through a cash purchase deal, right, in 12 months. So just cash purchases. This is not investment opportunities that were purchased with financing, just cash. So a very minute portion of them. And I needed less than 0.5% to do $1 million a year. If I took just less than 0.5% of all those cash deals for myself, that's $1 million in income according to my average deal size. So how much opportunity is available? A freaking crazy amount of opportunity, right? If I believe there was true competition, if I believe that if I help someone else be more successful, that would mean less success for me, I wouldn't teach it, right? I totally believe there's an abundance. And I also believe that the more I can serve and help other people, the more success will come to me in the end. But great stuff. Zero acres and a basic house. And then you said 10 acres. June Toon Buffoon. I don't know what you mean by the acreage stuff. I assume you're trying to figure out how to comp those. I would highly suggest if you have a motivated seller lead, just reach out to your agent or to an investor friendly agent and ask them to comp it for you. And then do your very best to get it under contract for as low as you can. Make sure you have cash buyers set up to be able to buy something like that from you. Great stuff. Any more questions that you guys might have around finance, around real estate, around wholesaling? Is there anything else I can help you guys with? Gabriel said, you and Cody are killing it in Utah. So Cody Hoffein's another wholesaler in Utah. There's actually a handful of us that are doing over $1 million a year here in just Utah. And there's a few of us that are like not very well known at all. I've had lunch with a lot of them. So I think there's think there's 7 of us. I think there's 7 of us doing over $1 million a year here in just Utah. And it's only, a population, the entire state is only like, I think it's like close to 3 million. So there's a ton of opportunity. Yeah, I know Cody Hoffine very well. Cody Hoffine actually taught me a lot about this business, and was one of the main characters in getting me out of window washing into where I'm at now. But he does very well, and him and his partner, Mark Stubler. And Mark Stubler, I actually worked for Mark Stubler for a couple months as an acquisition manager. Ton of respect for that guy. Orem DePayson. So Dusty's asking about wholesaling in Utah. Orem DePayson, based off your last comment, you think there's a lot of deals. Do you have much experience down that way? Not yet. It's funny that you talk about that, because we were talking about driving south of Provo all the way down to St. George over the next few weeks. So I haven't tested it, so I can't say. We're doing radio ads now. You guys may hear, if you're here in Utah, you'll probably hear us. I've been testing it for like 5 or 6 months. I'm spending like 15, 16 grand a month on marketing to radio. And we're pulling some leads in like Price and like random outskirt areas. But those smaller markets, those smaller neighborhoods, those smaller little towns and cities, there's 100% motivated sellers there. I had a cousin in Beaver that called me and asked me to buy his house at a discount just for the convenience factor, which was kind of funny. I was like, I buy them at a discount, right? He's like, yeah, I know. I was like, okay, well, why don't you list it? You'd make more. Oh, I don't want to deal with it. I've got a job up north. I want to move like yesterday. It's like, okay, right? So those are the kinds of opportunities you can find anywhere. It's just less population equals less frequency of properties being sold. And so, obviously there's only a certain percentage of sellers for how many houses you tag. So if you don't have very many houses, all that's going to mean is less leads. And so that's why I focus on these more populated areas. Did you hear about the Adobe Rock thing out in Twilla? I haven't. Adobe Rock, I have no idea what that is. But yeah, I spent a lot of time out towards Grantsville. I hiked the Stansbury Mountains a lot. I actually have a deer. This deer right here. This guy was from the Stansbury Mountains. Love that area. Okay, well, everybody, I think that is going to be it for questions tonight. You guys can continue to follow me on social media. There's going to be a ton of great things coming. Wow, that's crazy. 3,000 house development between Twilla and the Stansburys. That would be a giant development. I know our economy's booming here, though, so I'm sure it's needed. Anyways, if you guys have any questions, continue to follow me here on social media. I'm on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. Anywhere you want to follow me. If you go to my website, dfdmastery.com, you guys can click on the social media link and get access to whatever platforms you prefer. And if you have any interest in joining my program, getting your picture on my wall, so eventually you can get out onto my success wall out there, you can book a call and apply. It's by application only. It is dfdmastery.com dfdmastery.com, and click on the link that says book a call, and you guys can fill out the questionnaire and jump on a call with us. Thank you so much for joining me. You all have a wonderful, wonderful evening, and we'll talk to y'all soon.